All right, we're here. We're here. We're late, but we're here. Okay? That's just how it's going to be. There should be no birds in the room. I found him yesterday downstairs. He was downstairs in the packing ship. Sure enough, but I think it was just the one bird. He must have crawled under the door. That's how he must have got out. And so hopefully I came in here this morning and checked. I didn't see anything. So I believe it was just the one. So we should be good to go. All right, so tonight's the night. Hey, everybody ready? Anybody ready? I'm ready. You're ready. Hopefully Chucky's actually really ready. I don't trust him. I think he's full of baloney. I think he's hurt. And he said, Game 7. He said this would be more exciting for him than Game 7. He's not going to miss it. Yeah, okay, that's good. But how many weeks are you missing? Who am I talking to? Nobody. Nobody, Vincent. There's nobody here. No reason. Nobody. Nobody's here. Anyway, so Chucky didn't take the ice. Matthews didn't take the ice, and Kreider didn't take the ice. I'm just not convinced Chucky is. I guess he's going to play, but I just wouldn't be shocked if at the last second they say the coach decided to put Kreider out there. I don't know, man. I hope he's not going to cause himself more, a worse injury. Or it might be something where the injury is so bad he can't make it, Hey, Marvel. Craig says, kind of have a bad feeling like this game could get ugly fast, mixing McAvoy and ding up guys. The Panthers actually practiced today. The real hockey team. Ain't that something? Yeah. Huh. Yeah, Craig. I think maybe I'm hoping I'm wrong. I'm hoping I'm wrong. And I don't have a fantastic I don't know. It's just after the experience of what Tkachuk not pulled, but him being out there in Game 4 with a broken sternum leaves me no confidence at all that he won't go out there with like a groin that's ripped to shreds or a torn hamstring or something. Like, I have no confidence that he won't go out there and just worsen the injury. IDEX says, are we really going to lose this amazing tournament because everyone got hurt and then we'll have to deal with an injured Tkachuk? I hope not. I hope the anxiety that we are all feeling is misplaced. How about that? Maybe we're all projecting, right? We're all projecting. Now, in our defense as Panther fans, we saw this movie already once with Vegas, right? So maybe we're just it's trauma. It's trauma. We have trauma. Let's be honest. We have Chucky being injured in a big game trauma, right? Now, you would think last year was kind of therapy, right? But now we're being presented with the same kind of trauma again. And Denisenko ain't there to save us this time. So there's that. I just hope he's able to play well. Like, yeah, he could go out there, but what did he do in Game 4, right? Like by the third period, he couldn't go anymore. It's like, what'd you think, dude? You got a broken sternum. What did you think was going to happen? And I hope we're just not going down the same road again. So hopefully we're all just worried for nothing. Vincent says, oh no, I have more trauma now. It's true, though. It's true, right? Especially when we all saw him out there on the ice for warm-ups in Game 4. What did we think? Oh, okay, good. He's okay. He's all right. Yeah. Fake news. Craig says Evangeridge, Miller, and Vinny could go off. Somebody's going to need to fill that role, Craig. That's a really good point. Where the hell has Trocheck been? Like, did he just turn into a middling, useless fourth liner while we weren't paying attention? What the hell happened to this dude? I haven't seen him be the same tenacious player I thought he was, or at least he used to be. Any Rangers fans in here want to talk about Trocheck? Hey, Raven, how you doing, bud? How you doing, buddy? iDog says, I'll be projecting projectile vomiting if this goes horribly wrong. Hellebuck, however you want to freaking say his name, Heidelberg, whatever you want to call him. That's the dude, right? If we can get an exceptional performance from Hellebuck and Bennington can just do his 2 bad goals a game thing, we might be okay. David says Chucky and Bennett going at it tonight. I don't think so. I don't think Chucky's going to be picking a fight with anybody. I think Chucky's going to be off to the sides. We've seen him, right? Panther fans, we've seen him when he's not right. He just kind of hangs out by the circle, trying to distribute the puck. He's a decoy. Raven says, I wish I could get to this game. Unfortunately, I don't have a spare 1,400. Damn. I was wondering about that. I was going to text Lucas and ask him because he lives in Boston too. I was going to ask him if he was going to the game. He might have the spare 1,400. A scientist, as far as we know, he's not there, and Sanderson's going to play. We've got 6D, so that's it. You know, now if Chucky was unable to go, would they count that as a third injury though? Right? No, because the only guy that would technically be out is McAvoy. So he's not. I don't even think he traveled back. I think the word was he wasn't going to travel back to Boston unless it was a guarantee that he was going to have to play. It's a long flight, you know. Joe Tax is taking poll. Will Bostonians boo the Canadian state song? So I don't want to get off on a political tangent. I don't. I went to Twitter because I'm looking for news on the Kachuk brothers. I mean, I don't know what's real and what's fake. I don't watch the news, so I don't want to start a whole fight. But did Trump really this morning or last night say he was wishing the hockey team great luck against our future 51st state? I mean, was that real? Was that real, or is somebody manipulating things? I mean, you never know with him. But is he really trolling to that level? Vincent says, funny you should mention Vegas. Panthers tried to bully Vegas to no success. This sort of smells similar. Last game was a big show, but maybe a bit too much. Trump posted that. He called Trudeau governor. That's right. That's right. He said, I'm there. That's right. Oh, my God. So, I mean, he can't be serious. He's got to be trolling, right? He's got to be trolling, right? Like, is he just trolling people to get people's yangs up? I don't pay attention to any of this stuff, so forgive me. I'm not trying to be obtuse. This is a legitimate question. Is he just trolling people and people are falling for it like Kofefi? Or is he really like Joe Tag says it's a big game. It's confirmed he will be calling Team USA pregame. I'm happy to see the sport getting the attention it deserves. It's good for hockey. That's my opinion, Joe. We got the president. We got Trump tweeting about hockey. There's no bad exposure. What is the phrase? Right? Scientist says he's the political Kachuk. Raven says he's been saying this stuff for a while. Yeah, I don't pay attention. I know he said something earlier, but I didn't. When I saw the tweet, I said, is this real or is this a spoof? Because you never know. You never know anymore these days what's real. Vic says he knows damn well it is never going to happen. It's literally impossible. Right. I mean, it's just like he's got to be trolling. I don't know. Anyway, because I don't want to get off too much on that tangent. So that he really said that. That is some Kachuk level. That is, but it is. I mean, I know I can understand how Canadians don't like being the butt of the joke or whatever it is that he's saying. I grasp that, but it's got people talking about hockey. Matthew says he's trolling. He's got to be. Like, you can't just how right? How would you even do that? Calling Trudeau governor though, bro. That is no offense to any Canadians if you're taking it seriously. I don't know what to say. I honestly don't. I was only on Twitter for 2 minutes, and that's what I saw. And I'm like, oh my God, is this what's going on? Bill just says a president tweeting about the game is good for it, but not him wanting to take a country. Right. iDog says not to get political, but Canada becoming a state would be bad for Republicans. Imagine the amount of electoral votes they'd get, right? Yeah. Yeah, exactly. I mean, so he's got to be trolling. You know, what's funny about what you guys are saying is you would think, based on what you're saying about, the electoral, you're right. You're completely right. You would think Democrats would be like, yeah, let's go. Let's do it. Right? Or maybe he's trying to trick them into saying, let's do it. Oh, my God. So that was real. Oh, my God. That's hysterical. We'd have to change all the flags and everything. Oh, well. All right, we'll go back to talking hockey now. I don't want to piss people off and have the whole thing go political, but I just needed to know if that was real or not, because that was just funny. If you take it as a joke, it's funny. But I could understand. Joe says it'd be irrelevant in terms of the electoral. I could understand, like, if I woke up and Trump was talking about annexing my house, like, I could understand where I might be like, hey, that shit's not funny now. My dogs are buried in the yard. So I can see it from that point of view, how if he was talking about, annexing my house, that I might not take it. I might not be thrilled with being the butt of that joke. I can understand that situation too. Matthew said, yeah. Why is there talk of trading for Brady? It was a fake tweet, Matthew. It was a fake tweet. If you're talking about what we saw on Twitter, it was a fake tweet. If you're talking about just in general, we got to wait until Kachuk forces his way out. Solo says, is it bad that I love Brady Kachuk? I feel there used to be a big rivalry between Cats and Sens fans about which brother is better. I almost like Brady as much as Matthew after this tournament. I wish, can't we have both? Right? But I get it. I get what you're saying. I just wish Matthew would stop getting hurt, All right, that's good, Vincent. Samoskevich is healthy and ready. That's good. That's good. Lil J says if we had the money for Brady, we'd have him. Ekblad. I mean, I don't see what the problem is. Ekblad. We'll just do it right now. Ekblad, Rodriguez. I'll piss Vincent off and say Sachin and a first. Ekblad Rodriguez, they'd never do it. That's not enough, I know. But Ekblad Rodriguez, Sachin in a first for Brady Tkachuk. Right? Do I think Ottawa would take Nosek for Brady? You might have to throw in Greer. Joe. Right? Can you imagine Brady, Bennett, Tkachuk on the same line? But Brady and Bennett had their fight. So I still want to know how that all went down. I mean, they didn't ask. Did anybody ask Sam Bennett how he felt about his line mate pounding the glass while his brother was beating his ass? Did anybody care how Bennett feels, or does he just get tossed aside? Nobody cares how he feels. Thank you, Eyes. Sam Skevich, 100% ready to go. That's good. We're going to need him because if Matthew Tkachuk plays in the game on Saturday, I will shave my head again. Scientist says, yeah, he said what happens on the ice stays on the ice. I like that. Thank you. I didn't see that question and answer, but that's I appreciate that. That makes sense. That's a good dude. And it happens, right? I says Bennett doesn't have any feelings. We just plug him in at night. Right. Look, I had friends when we used to play football when I was a kid, middle of a football game, going to the yard, have a freaking fight, then get a drink from the hose, go back to playing football like nothing happened. Little J says, if game goes overtime, it will be 20 minutes until someone scores. Yes, I believe that's correct, David. Yeah. Vic says, I absolutely hate Bennett as a Bruins fan, but it feels weird to cheer for him as a Canadian, right? Yeah. Well, other things too, right? Like Winnipeg fans have to hope Hellebuck doesn't do well, right? Maple Leaf fans, imagine being a Maple Leaf fan. You don't want Matthews to be hurt, but you want him to be hurt tonight, right? Joe says, does Brady have a no-move clause? I would assume. I says, drinking from the hose as a kid means you don't need any vaccines. Ain't that the truth? Let me see. Brady, come on, where's mine? I don't want that notification. Move the notification, please, so I can get to my phone. Brady Tkachuk contract. And it said Brady Tkachuk. So let me see. He signed it in 21. I'm not seeing anything here. Excuse me. I'm not seeing anything here where they usually have a little notation next to the contract. He signed it when he was 22. So that means that was his contract after being an RFA. I don't think he's got a no trade or no move. I'm not seeing anything here with it. So I don't think he does. Sovolo says, I love McAvoy now. I don't care about the Panthers rivalry. Exactly. But we can continue to hate Marchand. Yeah. Yeah, it's also going to be weird for Marchand to be on the away team in his own home building. I got a cough. I'm sorry. I don't know what's going on. David, you thought Brady was untouchable for Ottawa? I don't think anything is going to happen for a few years. Like if another 3 years goes by and Ottawa still can't put it together and Chucky's got another cup and the Panthers core could use a little bit of extra juice, then maybe you'd see Brady say, hey, damn it. Sorry. Jeez. I'm dying here. I'm going to die on camera. Then you might see Brady say, hey, send me to Florida. But I would say at very minimum this year and at least 2 more seasons, if not 3, before I would even blink thinking that could actually happen. We could talk about it, but terms of it actually happening, I would wait. I says no trade clause kicks in 25, 26. What site are you using, man? Because I didn't have it on my site, and I don't want to give out bad information. Not that he wouldn't waive his no trade clause to go to Florida, obviously, right? Vic says he's ready to get booed by his own fans, but he's already used to that with how the season is going, right? Didn't want Brady. I didn't want Brady now, right now. I don't, Matthew. When I say I don't want Brady, what I'm saying is I wouldn't want to try to disrupt the chemistry of the team now, right now in this moment, because of everything you'd have to give up to get him. But a few years down the road, we win another cup, and we've got some assets that we can disperse. Then I don't mind. Right. Joe says perfect timing in a couple of years when the cap goes up and Florida's done a masterful job of getting long-term contracts. Exactly. Thank you, Vincent. Puckpedia. Okay. Back half of Matthews' contract, we might look to pair the Kachucks together, but it'll be more of a gimmicky thing. And when our cup window closes, well, I mean, maybe. If they do it in like 3 years, I still think the cup window will be around, pending Spencer Knight. All right, thank you, Eyes. Matthew, yeah. Yeah, that was a good one. That definitely was a good. That song was ahead of its time. Arif Mardin. He was a nutcase. That's why you got that huge all the key changes in that song. Vic says, anyone else nervous as hell? I'm literally sick to your stomach right now. Well, I'll be honest. I have a feeling that Panther fans may not be as nervous as everybody else because we kind of won last year. So, like, this would be like a cherry on top of that Sunday. And if you ask me what I would rather have, the United States win or Chucky be out the rest of the season because the United States won, I'd rather him stay healthy. Hey, Ryan. I says, if the USA wins, does Canada become the 51st state? You have to ask that. Go on Twitter and ask that question, Eyes, and see how many people block you and ban you and whatnot. Right? You know, Matthew, I think they did want to. I think they do want to play separate right now. That's the thing is right now. I think they want to play separate. If Brady wanted to come to Florida, he'd be saying he wanted to go to Florida, but he's not going to force himself out of there. You know what I mean? SoFlo says the bird that broke in yesterday was a sign. Yeah, he was downstairs. He got out of the room. I guess there's enough space. The door has enough jam at the bottom to where he must have crawled out, because when I went downstairs, I searched all over the house, and then the last thing I saw, he was in my pack and ship area. He got out. I opened up the door. Boulevard says, as I sit here in a dark room with no Wi-Fi, I'm reminding my mother has used up all the data streaming videos with the Wi-Fi. Now I'm here on the final day till the reset's bored out of my mind. They got your stream. Oh, so you've got, Boulevard, you have like data streaming limits with the Wi-Fi? That's interesting. Well, we're here. We're here. Now, I know Kyle, we're trying to get Kyle live today at 4 on the football channel, but I'm not sure if that's going to happen because we got a little something going on with Matthias that Kyle has to give him some attention to. Might have to go get him. So I'm not I'm not sure how that's going to work out this afternoon. We're going to try to get him live, but I can't promise it now because an emergency happened. Chucky is a pink chicken. Ryan Ree is correct. Chucky is a pink chicken. I mean, he's got the Chucky hair. I mean, that's Chucky's hair. I'm sorry. So I got to get we're going to have him ready for Saturday. We're going to have him ready for Saturday. I got to get the glue and put the mouthpiece on there. Gold Slayer says this game is going to be interesting with McAvoy out. Our D is going to be lacking. He was throwing hits against Canada that would be missed. Yeah. Matthew, you might be right there in terms of they probably want to play together now, but I don't know if there's really much that they could do about it. I kind of felt like, I don't know, like they've never talked about it, right? Like it's all just assumed from people. So I think there might be a part of Brady that kind of wants to be able to win a cup on his own. Like I would assume that maybe Brady is trying to avoid you only could win a cup because you joined your brother moniker. You know what I mean? So we ever do the videos of the football channel where we watch the old Dolphin game? No, we didn't do anything this summer, Eyes, because of what happened with the dogs. We just didn't have the you name it. We didn't have any of the energy that it took to do any of that. But the football channel is coming back, so that might be a good idea. Thank you for reminding me about that, because that might be a good idea for us to do. Yeah. SoFlo says, pick 'em odds for tonight. Surprise since all the injuries. Expected at least USA to be a slight underdog. Bennington versus Hellebuck, right? I think that's the equalizer. iDog says, can we get Kyle to do an NFL draft stream, at least the first round? Yeah, I think he'd already mentioned that he's going to do that. Yeah. Once we get rolling, which might not be till next week because it is – my ex-wife is really sick. She texted me. She's like really sick. She wanted me to come pick up Matthias, but it's an hour drive, and I get real nauseous from the whole thing. So we're having Kyle try to talk to Matthias because Matthias gets a lot of anxiety when his mom gets sick. And Kyle don't want Matthias bringing any of the illness here. So Kyle may be on the phone with Matthias quite a bit this afternoon to help him settle in. So he may not be able to do the stream. But once can't talk today. Once we get moving on that channel, then it'll be regular content like we are here. Scientist says I should release skits starring just the puppets, kind of like how I started my recap videos, but as a standalone series. I think it would have. Well, I actually long ago started, like before 2020. I started a channel. I did like 3 or 4 videos. It was called Politically Incorrect Puppets. That didn't, nothing really happened with that. But if I did it, I thought for a while maybe doing the shorts with the puppets. That might be an idea to try maybe do shorts with the puppets and see if that could bring in some people wondering what the hell is this idiot talking about. Ryan is correct. Can't wait for Thursday night Stanley Cup rematch. Yeah, Chucky's not. Chucky, I don't know. Chucky, one leg. He's a one-legged chicken. That's what he's going to be, right? SoFlo says, who are we kidding? Austin Matthews is our captain. We're cooked. Vincent says, I have a big ear. Well, you know what they say about guys with big ears and big hands. Goat Slayer says there's no way he comes to Florida without getting at least an A on his jersey. Giving up the captaincy is a big deal, although playing with your brother has proven successful. Niedermeyer's and Anaheim, right? Yeah, it's a good point, which is why you traded Ekblad, Rodriguez, Sachin, and a first. but you still have to replace Ekblad. Even if you did that now, the problem is you got to replace Ekblad on defense and in the locker room and with the cup. And I don't think we could do it because you got to send the salary back. That's why I'm thinking Ekblad. Unless you're going to send like Luosterainen and Rodriguez, but why would they make that deal? The only reason Ottawa would even do it is, like I said, like I was joking about, is if he got on the plane out to the Four Nations and called the Senators and said, I ain't ever coming home again. That's about it. Hey, Boba. JC, here's JC. Stop playing with the puppets. I have a girlfriend for that now. Francisco and friends. That's not bad. Bulwar says Chucky going to be pleading and buying some expensive beef for his bro so he don't fight Sam Bennett again. Corey says they want Reinhardt and a filler. I'm not saying you're wrong. I'm saying I wouldn't do that. I don't know that I would do that. I don't know that I would do that because Reinhardt goes with Barkov. Now, if you're gonna go Bennett, Kachuk, God Almighty. But if you were gonna do that, then you're gonna go what? Who are you gonna put? You're gonna put Rodriguez with Barkov, and then move Samoskevich down with Lundell and Luosterainen. I don't like that move at all. Reinhardt, yeah. Lil J says Reinhardt. Yeah, no, I agree. Scientist says, my thoughts on bringing in Cooper Black after Bobby retires. Hey, if the dude is ready, the dude is ready. But Spencer Knight also, right? Remember, Spencer Knight's an RFA. We got to figure out what to do with him. And it just depends on when Bob's going to retire. Is it going to be after next year? Don't know. Nobody knows. I've kind of felt like he's going to want to stick around for another couple of years. SoFlo says, do I think Huberdeau returning is a possibility anytime in the future? That would be cool. Every year, SoFlo, every year around this time of year, since we've been good, what do we need? We need some older guy who still has a little bit of legs for veteran depth to be on the fourth line. That's how that hasn't won a cup. That's trying to win a cup. That'll be Huberdeau in what? About 4 years? About 3 or 4 years? What's he, 31 now? 32? Right? Yeah, Lil J says Hubie may come back to retire. I want front row seats to that meeting with him and Zito, though. Bolar says the dream of two Chuckies died when the Senators decided this year they will actually look like we've been trying to tell you for the last 4 years, right? Yeah, Rosado, Bobby probably doesn't even know. Hey, True, how you doing, bud? Yeah, it's going to be something tonight, that's for sure. Donna says Rhino's top 20. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know about Reinhardt for Brady. I mean, that's what Ottawa would ask for, I'm sure. iDog says, would he want to come back to be on the fourth line like that? I don't know. I mean, probably not. Probably not. That's the thing. He's got that contract and you got all that term and everything like that. Ottawa or Calgary really ding themselves there. Yeah, now that I think about it, if he was on an expiring contract at like age 34, 35, right? But I don't really know how much sentimental feeling there is between Zito and Huberdeau, right? Vic says the only thing that gives me hope tonight is Bennington has won a big game in TD Garden before and has outperformed Hellebuck in elimination games. That's a good point. If Bennington lets those softies in, though, it's going to be a long night. I have a feeling the best thing Kachuk's going to be Matthew. I have a feeling the best thing he's going to be able to do tonight is try to sit up and set up in front of the net and deflect pucks in. Just don't know. And he didn't practice this morning either. Him nor Matthews or Kreider were on the ice this morning. So that's really interesting that Tkachuk and Kreider weren't on the ice because I don't know. Matthew's body language and the way he talked about, and both times that they've asked him how he's feeling, no comment. He says, I'm playing, basically, is all he's saying. Raven said, Sullivan said everyone is playing. Right. Well, I guess that's what he's saying. Right. I'm not convinced that if you got a perfectly healthy Kreider sitting there not playing, and Chucky goes out there at warm-ups and can't skate, I'm just not 100% convinced that they won't say something like Chucky tried to warm up and didn't feel like he could go, so Kreider's in. When the opening puck drops and Chucky's on the ice, that's when I'll believe it. But I've seen him go on the ice before with a broken sternum, and see how that turned out. I'm just not convinced. Simon says, hey, what's my prediction tonight? I'm going to go with Hellebug. Hellebug stealing us a game. Might be 2-1 again. That's what I'm going to go with. I don't think it's nearly going to be as physical as it was because they just can't. McAvoy's gone. Tkachuk, who knows? Brady Tkachuk might be dinged still. Whatever's wrong with Matthews. I think that they're going to have to, and we've seen the Panthers do this. Not that this is the Panthers, but we've seen the Panthers be able to play that complete shutdown defense system without needing to get overly physical. They just play sound, perfectly structured as much as they can. I would believe that that's going to be the way that they're going to go today, is just try to clog things up as much as they can, keep McDavid to the outside, which, yeah, Kenneth says, who's going against McDavid tonight? That's my question. Is who's going to be able to do what McAvoy did? Which guy? Scientist says 2-1 in the third overtime. Oh my God. oh, that's so possible too. Scientist, that is so possible. Gold Slayer says, wouldn't be surprised from a pregame or an early in-game goalie change from Bennington to throw a wrench at the U.S. just because why not? Huh. Yeah, Bennington was shaky at the end, that's for sure. Vincent says, never bet on Hellebug. Well, not much choice. So far, so good. Hi, Dog says, I can see it now. The game is 1-1, 30 seconds left. Trocheck gets tripped right when he's about to score, and then he scores on a penalty shot. Raven, yeah, there's a big trophy. Yeah. They've shown it a couple of times. I'm sure they'll show it tonight. But yeah, there's a pretty good size. I don't think it's not as big as the cup. It's narrower, but yeah, they got a pretty good sized trophy for it. So it'd be interesting to see where does it go? Like, where does the trophy go when whoever wins it? Like, does it go like to the United? Are there two Hockey Hall of Fames? Is there one in Canada, one in the United States, or is it just the one? Adonis says something is going to happen where Canadian fans will complain about it 100%, unless they win. That is the one good thing so far is the refs have pretty much, really let them play, right? There really hasn't been, I don't know if any team has had more than 2 power plays, not counting the fights, of course. But I don't know if any team has had actual more than 2 penalties. Maybe a third, maybe one. Vic says there's only one in Toronto. All right, so if U.S. wins the trophy, where does it go? Right? Simon, I think the best thing that it just depends on the health of some of these guys, you know, in terms of what they're going to do when they get back. We'll see how many guys need rest. We'll see how many guys need rest. And we ain't going to know that till after tonight. God, I hope Chucky's okay. I hope that I can come here tomorrow and y'all can laugh at me at how nervous I was that I'm not sure that Chucky's right. I hope we all can just say, Jaws, you were an idiot. You were stupid. Why'd you think he wasn't right? I just don't got a good feeling about that. Looked like a groin, man. And groins don't heal in 2 days. You know, I mean, if it's a knee, you can brace up and put some pressure on it and plant yourself somewhere. But if it's a groin, you're easily going to get knocked off the puck and knocked over. Fix, you think it'll probably end up there over time? Janiseko's on the Preds. Scientist says, yeah, Canada gets the trophy no matter what. Ghost Slayer says, have faith in Chicken Chuck. Oh, I have faith in him. I mean, the dude was out there with a broken sternum in game 4. I have no doubt that if they literally chopped off his leg, that he would just try to tie on a stump and go out there with his skate on a stump and be like, I'm fine. I'm fine. I can play. I'm good. I'm not missing this game. That's my concern with Chucky. Fly says, I just stopped by to reemphasize how I think this tourney is a terrible idea. Raymond says, even though McAvoy and others got hurt, I think this is still worth keeping over the All-Star game. I think the way to do it in the future would be to begin the regular season 10 days earlier and have an extra 10 days off after this, because unfortunately for the Panthers, the worst possible thing that can happen is going to end up happening here, where guys get tired and injured trying to win another cup. Like, yeah, I know. Yeah, right, Fly. Not saying it's bad hockey, right? Yeah, I know Ovechkin is the only issue with the tournament, right? Shavashi says, how long do I think Chucky will be out for us? I got to assume that even if he was healthy, you got to figure the first 2 games when he comes back, Kraken and Preds. The team had to look at that schedule and figure giving some guys some rest during those 2 games. I can't imagine a scenario where he's playing gimpy today and we're going to throw his ass out there again on Saturday. That wouldn't make any sense to do that. I would hope at least the Saturday and the Tuesday game, because Thursday is against Edmonton. But if if we're winning without him, let him rest, whatever it is, and we're not going to know anything more other than lower body injury, right? Jameson says lots of Kachuk talk. How about Reinhart scores a game-winning goal for Canada? Yeah. No, I don't like that. I don't like that one at all. Nope. No. The only reason it's okay if Reinhart scores a game-winning goal is if it's a Kachuk shot off of Reinhart into your own net. That's okay. We'll give Reinhart the assist there. Kind of like Mikkola did for Chucky in the first game. We'll just replace Mikkola with Reinhart. Hey, Simon. Everybody supposedly is playing tonight. Both Kachuk brothers, Matthews, he says everybody's playing tonight. But what's going to happen Saturday is a whole other thing. I can't imagine Chucky's playing Saturday. Probably not Bennett, maybe Reinhart. Can we go without all 3? We talked a little bit about that yesterday. Swashi says 3-2 double overtime in United States. What's Rosado saying? What? Can we have what, Rosado? I didn't see the first thing. Oh, let me scroll back up. Oh, Rosati, you talking about the football videos? Oh, I see what you're saying. We should start like October 2nd or 3rd, like pre-COVID. Like, yeah. Yeah, exactly, Strafashi. But that Matthews could be out a bit too, right? Zada says, why can't we have it during the summer? Because that's when everybody's healing. That's when all the guys are healing. I wear this hat working in the garden. No, I wear the crazy Bill hat working in the garden. I got it hanging up in the kitchen so that when I gotta go mow the grass, I just grab a crazy Bill hat and I put it on. It's hanging on a nail in the kitchen. And you think I'm fancy? Shafashi, I thought about doing the tournament before the season, but the thing about that is with the guys' bodies, just I feel like we'd get more injuries if they went from just a couple of preseason games to playing at this intensity. I think we'd actually end up with more injuries because their bodies wouldn't be ready. I know they'd be rested, but I don't know. Goat Slayer says, scroll up to take my take on the tournament. Hold on. I got to eat some lunch. He says, I'd like this tournament to take part during the playoffs, but the eligible only to players not in the playoffs, double the hockey and no impact to playoff teams and gives great players in the tournament. I don't know, man. That's like all the rosters. You can't have the best of the best. And you probably wouldn't be able to do that anyway because of the television deals. I'm sure the TV deals are assumed that the playoffs would be an exclusive thing, like that that the league wouldn't split up the viewership. Raven says, I haven't seen as many people talk about hockey in a long time. Agreed. Kenneth says, how many injuries were there during the COVID playoffs? That'd be a great gauge. That's a good question. I don't know. Did you guys think those playoffs were as intense as what we're seeing now? I mean, US versus Canada, that's like a Panthers Lightning type of deal where they just remember that one series where we beat the crap out of each other. Bad rap. Who am I putting my money on? Money? That's a trick question, right? Hold on a second. Oh, okay. It's just the post office delivering something. Who am I putting my money on? There shouldn't be anything that the post office has to deliver. Did you all send me something? That's a good question. Of course, I want United States to win. But if I had to put money on it, I'm going to say United States because I don't want to put any bad juju out there. But I might hedge my bets. Can I have a two-team parlay? Ted, yeah, we talked about it earlier. We did. We'll just I don't want to go down that whole rabbit hole again, but yeah. I saw what he said. I just keep my mouth shut. It's hard being a hockey creator, you know what I mean? Because you definitely have two different sides of a situation. You know what I mean? JC said, yeah, JC, I found him downstairs in my pack and ship. He snuck out the bottom of his door and he flew around the house and finally made it downstairs where my pack and ship area was. So I opened up the door and he took off. I'm pretty sure. Shavashi says, going to 3 cups is hard, but don't get me wrong. But for the Bolts doing won't be nothing in comparison to with the Cats in 3 cups. Well, the extra games, right? And the break, they stopped playing at 56 games, and they were off like at least 3 or 4 months, I believe, right? Before they started the playoffs back up. Kind of says Canada plus 2.5 is what Jaws is saying. I mean, I would, if you want to give me, want to give me 2.5. I mean, I'll take 2.5. I would take 2.5. I know, Ted. It's Solo says lightning comes from both COVID years and LTIR usage. Well, somebody had said, it might have been you, said that we were the first team in like 5 years to win a cup without using the LTIR. We might have to do it now, right? It's all a scam. It's actually all a scam. Actually, Chucky's not hurt. He's just pretending to be hurt, right? He sat out the rest of the game, pretending to be hurt. He's going to go out there tonight. United States wins championship, and then he's going to say, "Oh, I re-injured my leg, and then I got to be on LTIR for the rest of the season, so he can just rest, and then we bring in his replacement." Yeah, Ted, it is fragile. Yeah, Chucky gets the game-winning goal in overtime. I'd love it. SoFlo says we took down the President's Trophy's winner 2 years in a row, went through Vasi, Swayman, Igor, and took down McDavid in the final. I'll agree with that. Did I, Donnell, did I ever get a Four Nations jersey? No, sir. No, sir. Did not. No, sir, I did not. I paid my internet bill, so they didn't shut it off. That was the start. And the car insurance, which continues to go up, even though I haven't needed it in like decades. But that's a whole different story. That's right. Yeah, Tampa got to play Montreal. I mean, that's the point. I try not to, put an asterisk next to them on that because they won under the same rules as everybody else. But I get it. Right. Rosado says, yeah. Simon, I'm waiting, man. I appreciate that. I'm ready to go fishing. There's no doubt about that. And we're supposed to have some mid-50s next week. So once we get 2 days in a row here where it's 60 degrees, although it might take more than that because the river's still been frozen. This is awfully late in the year for the river to still be frozen. So either one of two things is going to happen. Either as soon as it defrosts, the fish are going to be like going crazy, or B, it's going to take the river so long to warm up that spring gets pushed back a month. So somehow, some way, we'll get it straight. We just got to get everything unfrozen. Actually, Simon, we're supposed to go today. We're actually supposed to take him today, but I hear him on the phone with his brother, so I got to go see what that situation is in case I have to go pick him up. Solo says if Tkachuk sits the rest of the year, we probably won't win the division. I don't know. Well, if Matthews has to sit the rest of the year, what if Toronto and Florida have to do the same thing? Right? But it also depends on what we can get in replacement. Right? Because then we got all that money to play with if he's on LTIR, and it's just a matter of what assets do we have. Right? It could open things up a little bit. You could pay for a guy with term that's just going to be a rental and then flip him over to summer after we won the second cup because you really weren't intent on keeping him. Follow what I'm saying? right? Pick up a guy, overpay a little bit. He's a rental, win the cup again. He fills in for Chucky for the regular season. Then over the summer, flip that guy that we picked up to make up for the fact that we overpaid for him before the trade deadline. I don't know. Sounds like something Zito would do. All right, guys. I got to roll. Got to run. Got to eat some lunch. Get this kid out of the house. See what's going on with Matthias. Appreciate all support. 8 o'clock, 7 hours from now. The members podcast will be up in about 20 minutes. And that's that. Next time we talk, big things. Big, bad, beautiful. The president is tweeting about hockey. If my channel doesn't explode now, it never will. All right. We'll see you tonight.